given this is the finale and everything, I thought that I would have had a little bit more to say here. But, surprisingly enough, a lot like Dawn and a lot like War, there just hasn't really been a lot to say. So what can I say about this movie? Well, I can say that Disney didn't fuck it up. I can say that with 100% certainty. Disney didn't fuck it up, so thank you, Disney, for not treating this like you treated X-Men. But at the same time, it's not as good as the Reeves trilogy. It's a very solid film. I'd say this movie's about probably on par with the original Planet of the Apes. It's a solid foundation for follow-ups to try to build off of. Hopefully it goes better than the last time. So let's sit down and discuss this movie together. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Station, your message there for anything animation, including TVs and movies as well. I am your host, Jackson Small. Welcome back to the finale of our Invasion of the Apes marathon with the latest installment that just came out, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This is a movie that I went in with the expectations kind of in the middle. Because, yes, it's another Apes movie. Yes, this series has mainly been pretty decently high quality, especially lately with the Reeves trilogy. But it's Disney. It's Disney with a Fox IP trying to bring it back after dormancy. Yeah, we know how that usually goes. Usually when Disney gets a property, they love to fuck it up. But thankfully, as I said in the intro of this video, they didn't fuck it up. So thank you, Disney, for not treating this like you did with some of the other Fox IPs that you have obtained. But I can't call your movie anything more than really, really good. Why? Let me explain my review. It's another pretty short one because, again, since this is still technically connected to that Reeves trilogy and still a part of that timeline, again, I don't really have a lot to say because most of the positives are still the same. So, instead, again, I'm going to try to just give a generalization. So I hope you enjoy. The start of yet another new trilogy of the Apes franchise wasn't a bad idea, but with Disney at the helm and after how poorly they've handled the other Fox IPs like the original X-Men, had me scared to death it was going to miserably fail. Thankfully, though, that didn't happen, but it's still not as good as the Reeves trilogy. I'd say it's about on level of the original Planet of the Apes. It's an enjoyable film that lays a solid foundation for follow-ups to build upon. It has a pretty good villain, it has a good protagonist, it has a really good story. It does a good job following from that trilogy as this takes place a good millennia later. And there is some tension, there is good action, there are great effects, good voice acting, good cinematography, good directing. And from what I've heard, the director was given creative freedom on this one, so that might be why it's a Disney property from Fox that's not a massive fuck-up, but as it is, it's a pretty good movie. It's not going to make the best list, and I'm probably not going to talk about it again after this, but it's a pretty good movie. And if you decide to go see it in theaters, that's perfectly fine. I did expect a little bit more. I was hoping maybe it would stay at least in the great tier. But I will take very good over a piece of shit, so I'm perfectly satisfied with what I got. Do I wish it was better? Yes, absolutely. But this is the first one of this new trilogy or whatever they want to build. So I can give it a little bit of slack because the first is usually always the weakest, but after a while it does get better. I mean, yeah, you have Rise. Rise was the big example for this franchise of a starting of a timeline in a franchise that was pretty much perfect. That movie's still perfect. That movie I still love. This one is just pretty good. So if you decide to see it in theaters, yeah, go see it. But I'm not sure if I can say whether or not it's worth a ticket price. Just my personal opinion. But I can understand if you feel differently, and if you decide to go see it, I'm not going to blame you. Because it is very cinematic. It does feel like it belongs in theaters. It's a very good movie. But it's just not great enough to be like among the best of the year or anything like that. And I know that the Oscars are going to overhype the shit out of it, so it can very quickly get annoying. But as it is right now, it's a 7 out of 10. It is a solid film. It is a decent movie. and it's a good one to end off this Apes marathon with. So, congrats, Disney. You did not screw it up. Thank you. And hopefully the sequels are better. Disney, do not screw it up, please. Please don't screw it up. I know you. Just please don't screw it up. And that's it for our Apes movie marathon. So thank you all so much for watching all of these reviews. I had a really good time making all these videos and checking out all these new movies for the first time. Because, like I said, previously I haven't seen any of these movies. I've just heard about them. But watching all of them now, it's a very interesting experience. Yes, there were some turds in there, but it was mostly either mediocre to really, really good. And then Rise is just a masterpiece. Rise is still the best Apes movie, in my opinion. And if you're wondering how it all stack out in a ranking, it probably looks something like this. It probably looks something like that, with Rise at the top, and the terrible remake all the way at the bottom. So, yeah. And that is my entire thoughts and all the reviews for the Apes series. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm probably going to go get a throat lozenge now and try to get these edited and done so that they can release today and not have to wait another freaking week. So, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next review.
We cannot take it anymore. The time has come to go. Prepare to fight. We're ready for this. I really hope that I'm ready for this.